Hello crafters, this is Flavia and I hope all is well. In today's Happy Mail video, I will be sharing a few products that I recently purchased from Simon Says Stamp and Concord and 9th, along with some note card examples using these products. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helps you to get to know these products better in case you are thinking about purchasing some of them. I will begin by opening this big box by Simon Says Stamp. Most of the products in this box are ink pads. I have been dreaming about the Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively saturated ink pads ever since they released them, and I am very excited about these gorgeous vibrant colors. Here we have the trio 16 in the colors lilac, orchid, and amethyst. I actually purchased two large sets with 15 ink pads each. However, none of them had purple ink colors, and that is why I decided to buy this trio apart from the ink set gradient 1, which is this one that I am opening, and the ink set gradient 2 that I will show you in a minute. With these sets, we get 3 different shades of each color, which is just perfect for layering and stamping. Other than sets of 3 or 15 ink pads, know that you can also purchase individual ink pads if you prefer. These are dye ink pads, and I love that each pad has a color label on the side of the casing. According to Simon Says Stamp website, these are quick-drying, water-reactive inks that we can also use for watercoloring, and the best part is that they are fade resistant. The other product that I got is this set of blending brushes. This set comes with 10 small and 10 large brushes. If you prefer, we also have the option to buy just a large or just a small brushes set, or even single brushes. Each brush comes protected in a hard plastic lid, which I think I will save in case I need to take these blending brushes to go. These plastic lids are perfect for protecting the soft bristles. I love that now I have one brush for each of my most used ink colors, which means I do not need to wash these brushes every time I use them. I love the rainbow colors, and these brushes look very pretty on display. I also purchased this multi-purpose tool storage to store my Simon Says Stamp brushes. This holder measures approximately 2 by 8¼ inches, and it can hold other tools such as scissors and pens. Also, this organizer is very easy to clean up since this silicone insert can be removed from the white base. I was able to make all of my ink blending brushes fit, but it feels too crowded for me and I wish I had another one. I guess I will have to add it to my wish list this year. Off camera, I created a swatch of the Simon Says Stamp ink pads that I purchased, and here's a closer look at these beautiful colors. Ink pad swatches can be very helpful, and I highly recommend you doing that since the color on the packaging is not real to the true color of the product. Here we have the Pawsitively Everything tool. When Simon Says Stamp first released this tool, I thought it would be just one of those things that we buy but we never use. However, I love this thing and I have been using it all of the time. I always keep it on my table because it is such a handy tool to have. There are many uses for this tool, such as cleaning blending brushes and protecting your work surface from hot tools such as heating guns or glue guns. But what I love the most about this tool is that it holds the ink pads in place as we are inking up our blending brushes, which means we do not need to use both hands to do that, which by the way can be very helpful in situations where, for example, we are working with a layering stencil and we are already using one hand to hold the stencil or the paper in place. It is very annoying when I'm trying to ink up my brush using only one hand and the ink pad keeps on moving around as I'm doing it. That is one of my crafty pet peeves, and this tool solves that. It's like having a third hand. It measures approximately 5½ by 6 inches, and there are many colors available to choose from. Another Simon Says Stamp product that I got is this 6 inches T-square ruler. This ruler has measurements in inches and centimeters, and the most common sizes of note cards are marked in teal color for easy reference, which is really cool. I also love that this ruler has a nice thick edge that bumps up against even the thinnest paper, and the shutter length is just perfect for card making. I do have a 12 inches square tip ruler, but I feel that the smaller size is more comfortable to work with. The next product is this layered spooky icons stencil set. I usually do not make a lot of Halloween note cards because this holiday goes by so fast and I always run out of time, so I do not own a lot of Halloween products, but I just had to get this stencil set. This is a set of 4 6x6 stencils that are meant to be layered together so we can create really fun Halloween panels. Here is a note card that I created using this stencil along with the Pawsitively saturated ink pads. This stencil set is such a fun way to quickly create Halloween note cards, and I love the result. Here we have this tiny Acorn trio die, also by Simon Says Stamp. This is a very small and inexpensive die and great for making fall or Thanksgiving note cards. This is a note card that I created using the Acorn trio die. I used a small acorns to decorate my background panel as well as to make the envelope match the note card. I love that we can die cut many acorns at once, and I have a lot of leftovers for future note cards. I also got a piercing plate. I love using piercing plates to add interest to my panels. This is the Simon Says Stamp Flap Floral Pinpoint plate. This plate is about 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches and it is great for A2 size note cards or smaller. When we run it through our die cut machine, this is the beautiful result that we get. If you're also planning on stamping, I suggest you do that before using this piercing plate for better results. And now I want to show you these 3 background stamps from Simon Says Stamp. This one is the friendship text. Then we have the thank you background stamp and also this you are background stamp. These are all 6x6 cling stamps. They all have very beautiful messages and I am a huge fan of these text background stamps. They are also perfect for adding interest to your background panels or even the flap of the envelopes. I actually already had a few other ones and I thought I will show you in case you're not familiar with the Simon Says Stamp text background cling stamps. This one is the hand-lettered holiday, which I love. Then I have the love is, and I also have the you matter cling stamp. I use this one a lot. Piercing plates and Simon Says Stamp text background stamps are great tools for adding interest to the background panels of your note cards. I have some card examples for you using these products and I will start with this thank you note card that I created using the thank you background stamp along with the Fab Floral Pinpoint piercing plate that I showed you a minute ago. I also stamped the flap of the envelope to make it match and I used the Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively saturated ink. For this Lucky to Know You note card, I used the friendship text background stamp. The die that I used to cut out the sentiment is also by Simon Says Stamp, by the way. And for this third note card, I used the You Are background stamp to create a panel for this golden frame. So these are all of the products that I purchased from Simon Says Stamp, and now let's check what I have inside this envelope by Concord and 9th. It was not a big purchase, but the few products that I chose are just outstanding. I will begin by showing you the Concord and 9th newest Turnabout stamp, or one of the newest. This is the Plaid Turnabout stamp. It measures 6x6 inches, and if you're not familiar with Turnabout stamps, I will add a link at the top right corner to another video where I show you how to use a Turnabout stamp. With Turnabout stamps, we can get different looks by changing up the number of colors and the number of times we rotate the stamp. They all look great, but I usually rotate it 4 times for a fuller look. Also keep in mind that to use a Turnabout stamp, we need a Turnabout jig that is sold separately, or you can just make your own. This next product is the Nordic Noel die set, which is perfect for the holidays. This die set is perfect for those who like the die cut inlay technique. For this technique, we can either use the die cut pieces or the Nordic Noel enamel shapes that Concord and 9th released along with this die set. What I love about this die set is that we can cut the letters apart to create different looks. So we can either use it as it is on an A2 size note card, or separate the letters to create slimline note cards, for example. And here we have 2 note cards that I created using this set. These are A2 size top folding note cards, and to create this pink and purple plaid panel, I used the Concord and 9th Turnabout stamp that I showed you earlier. To add some interest to these panels, I added flat pack bits, and I was amazed at how fast I was able to make these note cards thanks to this awesome, easy-to-use die set. Last but not least, we have the Winter Wonderland bundle, with lots of images to create Christmas scenes. Note that it is an option to buy just the die or the stamp set, but Concord and 9th always gives a discount when we buy stamps and dies in a bundle, so since I love die cutting, I got both sets. Notice that with the die set, we get this long rectangle metal plate. This plate will cut out a pop-up mechanism that we can place on the inside of the note card, creating a really fun surprise for the recipient. And we can also easily make shaker cards with this set. However, what led me to purchasing this set is this tiny nutcracker die. I'm crazy about this one, and I have been creating lots of nutcracker note cards ever since I got this set. It definitely involves a lot of die cutting and assembling very small pieces, but I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it. Here we have some note card examples using this set. Again, I used that Turnabout stamp for my background, and this front panel has a surprise window. I also stamped the flap of the envelope to make it match the note card by using some snowflake stamps included in the stamp set. And here we have the note card that I have been dreaming about making ever since they released this die set. When Concord and 9th released the Winter Wonderland set, I thought it would be a great set to use with the pop-up base die set that they released a while ago and that I already had, and I am so happy with the result. When we take this note card out of the envelope, it looks like just any regular note card. However, when we open it, we have a few more nutcrackers popping up. I had a lot of fun creating this one, and I have a video for you coming out soon to show you how I made this note card. So these are all of the products that I wanted to share with you today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're interested, I have listed in the description box down below all products mentioned today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you do not miss the next one. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy crafting!